Top cheerio! My name is Kat from the hit YouTube channel Do Not the Cat. After last video where we used monkey-inspired psychological warfare, I decided to take a vacation to Birmingham. And since I'm broke as shit, we did this in Google Maps. Looking around, I've come to the conclusion that we are currently in hell. Despite our overall shitty experience, I have seen the light, and as such, I've decided to put down the estrogen pills and pick up the teacup. Yes, you've heard that right. I am going to be the first person in the world to transition from guy to girl to Glasgow resident. To celebrate this monumentous occasion, I have decided to do one of the most British activities that I could think of. That is, colonizing the digital landscape known as Enlisted. But how are we going to do this? My first thought was to share traditional British cuisine with the locals, but after eating the finest British cuisine known to man, I've decided that this is a terrible fucking idea. After that, I thought, hey, why don't we introduce them to the British icon that is the Beatles? But seeing as it's the 1940s and they won't come around for another 20 years, we're gonna have to cross that one off the list as well. Finally, I realized we're gonna have to bring out the tried and true method of spreading British culture. That is, knife-related criminal activities. Starting off with our first game, we're gonna hop on the German party bus and immediately encounter traffic. So like a proper British citizen, I develop road rage, honking, throwing objects, and eventually jumping onto the sidewalk to get past this fat bastard of a tank. We will now proceed to pull the fuck up. God damn it, not again. So we put that shit into reverse, and as you do in London traffic, we get into a rear-end collision with that fat sack of shit who's currently turning me into spaced armor. Seeing as I'm currently in the middle of a multicultural spit roast between a German and an American, I see no other option but to press forward and take a right. This actually works out very well if you don't count the family of four in the back who just got turned into a fine paste. Parking the bus, I hop out and immediately make my way to this man lying on the grass, enjoying his fine summer day with his fellow friends. They died. It's around this time I also encounter my mortal enemy, the half-track. He died. Finally, one of the locals gave me a traditional British greeting. I died. After this, I kinda just repeated the formula where I would spawn in, park my squad, and then go on to shank the shit out of people whenever given the opportunity. And of course, in the end, we won.
Oh Jesus, fuck! Oh, you want more?
While I usually play alone, today I thought I'd spice things up, and as such, I've decided to bring in some help. So Ben, for the third time today, I've once again accidentally deleted the fucking footage. How would you like to introduce yourself?
Foreskin apple.
Thanks, I hate it. Ben is the kind of person to skirt the fine line between terrorism and shenanigans, so I decide to confront him on this subject. Ben, there's a fine line between shenanigans and terrorism.
No, there isn't.
Fair enough. It is immediately after this that I encounter a group of big steamy men on their way to a party, and while I'm in it for knife kills, Mama knows when it's time to eat. Now that I've eaten my fill of Russian XP pinatas, I've decided to park the bus and get to work. It's Morbin time! The first person I encounter is this fine gentleman who is currently having a hard time getting up. After introducing him to the British culture, another squad decides to pull up. So one by one, I decided to show them the modern marvel that is the surprise C-section. After that, we cap the objective, and I managed to sneak into the next point. So I juke this bot, stab his friend, and chase down the leader, where I push him into a corner and politely ask him for directions to the nearest Tesco. After a long day of beating up Russians, we decide to wind down by having a thought-provoking conversation on our way to the next point.
Unfortunately, I'm going to wipe your whole squad with a bolt-action rifle. You can
wipe
cope and
my
see about
ass
it.
for $20, it's my fetish.
I can wipe your dollars for 20 asses.
Shortly after this, I encounter just about the entire enemy team, but before I can act, Ben drops one of the most perfect artillery strikes I've ever seen.
Oh, the artillery worked.
Oh my god. Not willing to be outdone, I quickly run inside the point, knife in hand, and ready to make some new friends. Around this time, Ben admits to the murder of an Ethiopian man. Have you ever eaten Ethiopian food?
I have eaten an Ethiopian man, yes.
What was his name? When was this?
Bold of you to assume I know his name.
Oh, it was indiscriminate. Do you feel bad for ending that man's life?
No.
What was going through your mind when you pulled the trigger?
Barbecue.
What kind of barbecue?
Teriyaki.
Not wanting to be the next victim, I decided to mind my own business and instead focus on what I originally set out to do. But before I could properly introduce these bastards to the queen, the game ended. So while Ben fucked off to League of Legends, I decided to play one last game, and by God, was it a good one. First thing I noticed upon loading in was the map we got, which is of course, the Trap House. Perfect for hanging out with friends, doing your homework, and stabbing the shit out of people in inconspicuous rooms. And if you want to follow along at home, let's go over the 3 basic steps for you to get knife kills. Step 1 is to have fun and be yourself. Fundamentally speaking, stabbing people is just running up and aggressively introducing yourself. So if you're nervous, you could drop the knife, miss their kidneys, or even forget to use the magic words, which is "Hello, governor." Step 2 is to just kinda always pull the fuck up. Hiding in the corner makes you a coward, so instead equip your knife and run headfirst at the enemy. The sheer amount of aura generated by this action will incapacitate them, allowing you to run up and steal their lunch money. Step 3 is the most important, which is to wear compression socks and high flow clothing. The added airflow will increase your brain power, help your deductive reasoning, and of course, make you totes adorbs. By keeping those 3 easy steps in mind, you're sure to win more games, which of course, we did. So, now that our game is done, the sun is shining a little bit brighter down on Great Britain, let's go over what we learned. Hey, what's up? I'm in the middle of a video. The check bounced. What do you mean the check bounced? How does a check from a literal country bounce? Uh-huh. Okay. No, why the fuck would I want to meet the queen? She's dead. She's been dead for a while, no? Uh-huh. Okay, so what am I supposed to do? You're gonna exchange it with coupons to Tesco. Bitch, I need to eat. Okay, fine. Get off my phone. Bye. Alright, cool. So it sounds like next week we're playing War Thunder and we're going after British players, because I need some answers.